Imagine a world where your social circle was limited to the people you saw in person or talked to. On a landline, there was no timeline, no status update, and the word friend was only a noun, never a verb. This was the landscape in 2003, when a 19-year-old Harvard sophomore named Mark Zuckerberg sat in his dorm room and wrote the code for a site called FaceMash. It was a controversial, short-lived experiment that compared the photos of students. But it proved one thing: people had an insatiable desire to look at each other online. On February 4, 2004, Zuckerberg launched the Facebook. It wasn't intended to be a global empire. It was designed as a digital directory for Harvard students, a way to see who was in your classes and, more importantly, whether they were single. Within 24 hours, over 1,000 people had signed up. Within a month, it had expanded to Stanford, Columbia, and Yale. The site was clean, exclusive, and addictive. By 2005, the was dropped, and Facebook.com was purchased for $200,000. The site began to open up to high schools and eventually to everyone over the age of 13 with a valid email address. This was the first major turning point. Facebook was no longer a gated community for the Ivy League. It was becoming the world's digital town square. In 2006, the company introduced a feature that changed the internet forever: the news feed. Today, we take it for granted. But at the time, users were horrified. They felt like they were being stalked. Thousands of people joined protest groups on Facebook itself, demanding that the feed be removed. Zuckerberg didn't back down. He realized that people didn't want to click through individual profiles anymore. They wanted the information to come to them. He was right. Engagement skyrocketed, and the stream became the standard for every social platform that followed. The year 2012 was a landmark for the company. Facebook went public with one of the biggest IPOs in tech history, and it reached a staggering 1 billion users. But Zuckerberg saw a threat on the horizon: mobile. People were moving away from desktop computers and towards smartphones, and they were sharing photos on a small, filter-heavy app called Instagram. In a move that shocked Silicon Valley, Facebook bought Instagram for $1 billion, a price that seemed insane at the time, but now looks like the bargain of the century. 2 years later, they doubled down on communication by acquiring WhatsApp for $19 billion. However, with massive scale came massive scrutiny. The mid-2010s marked a shift in the Facebook narrative. It was no longer just a fun way to share vacation photos. It was a powerful tool for political influence. The Cambridge Analytica scandal in 2018 revealed that the personal data of millions of users had been harvested without their consent for political advertising. This sparked a global conversation about privacy, data mining, and the attention economy. Zuckerberg found himself testifying before Congress, answering questions about how a free platform makes money. His answer was simple: "Senator, we run ads." As the 2020s approached, the company faced a new set of challenges: the rise of TikTok, concerns over mental health, and the spread of misinformation. In 2021, the company made its most radical move yet. It rebranded itself as Meta. This wasn't just a name change. It was a pivot toward the metaverse, a vision of a 3D virtual world where we would work, play, and socialize using virtual and augmented reality. The history of Facebook is the history of the modern internet. It transformed the way we form identities, the way businesses reach customers, and the way revolutions are organized. It turned likes into a global currency and made algorithm a household word. It has been praised as a tool for connection and condemned as a source of division. Often at the exact same time, we went from a Harvard dorm room to a global conglomerate that influences the lives of over 3 billion people every single day. Whether you love it, hate it, or just use it to remember your aunt's birthday, there is no denying that Facebook rewrote the social contract of the 21st century. As we move further into the era of meta and artificial intelligence, the question remains, is the goal still to bring the world closer together, or have we become too connected for our own good? How has your relationship with the Blue app changed over the last decade? Or have you already moved on to the next digital frontier? Thanks for watching.